is fascinating, isn't it? I mean, does this actually happen behind the scenes more than we realise with players? And can you see the move taking place in 8 hours' time?
No, I don't think top clubs operate in this way. I really think it's just a tongue-in-cheek comment. If anything, today there will be a cheeky bid, and it's probably the fee that Chelsea paid just to keep those talks alive, really. I don't see that happening today. That's 100% certain. There's too much money involved, too many things that has to happen in a short space of time. Can I see it happening? Yes, I can. I think there's a lot depending on, obviously, Rodri leaving the club. Reinders looks like he's on his way out of Manchester City. Obviously, the Rodri deal is hanging in the balance. Barcelona are going to come back with a third bid. I believe that will happen. Manchester City are just trying to get the most for what is a special player in Rodri. And once that happens, then the domino effect, and Enzo then might be coming back to the table. So yeah, that deadline today is a tongue-in-cheek for me.
For me as a Chelsea fan, it's the best transfer news I've had so far this window. I think he's a good player, but if he can get 120 mil for him, I'd buy City's hand off. I think we can reinvest that. We've got some good midfielders there already.
Yeah, but you've got to spend 90 million to get a player like him. Minimum.
Yeah, but if you look at what we already have and we signed Rodgers, he can fill that gap.
Rodgers can't play centre midfield.
He's not his preferred position, but he could. We signed that Valentino. I think he's a good player. We got a Hugo coming back. I just think all the baggage that comes with Enzo. You know,
do you know what would help? Idri, do you know what would really help? If Lavia could keep himself fit, and you have Lavia and Caicedo as kind of the anchor, and then that allows the likes of Rodgers or Palmer, whoever you want as a 10, then I guess you could allow Enzo to leave for that 120 million. But the problem you've got is that Lavia, for whatever reason, I feel for him, he's only 22, he can't stay fit.
Yeah, I get that, but he just played his first 90 minutes in pre-season. I think it's a big season for him. It's a big season ahead. I'm quite optimistic, and I'm just not a fan of Enzo with all that baggage that he brings, and I think him and Xabi will clash personally. So if we can get 120 million for him, be my guest, mate. I'll drop him off at Etihad.
Okay, all right. Listen, I appreciate your call. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if someone will pay 120 million for him.
If Enzo Maresca wants him, then he will, won't he?
He spent 100 million on Anderson.
Maybe. The only way I could see Man City really pushing that button is if Rodri goes to Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like, okay, let's go. Come on, bang, get it done.
Yeah, okay.
Chelsea are back at Cobham, and the intensity is clearly rising as Xabi Alonso prepares his squad for another important preseason test against Sociedad at Stamford Bridge. With the game just around the corner, this was not a relaxed training session. The players were put through demanding drills, sharp passing exercises, finishing practices, and intense tactical work as Alonso continues to build the Chelsea team he wants to see when the competitive season begins. And two players in particular caught the attention during the session: Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers. Palmer, as always, looked completely comfortable with the ball at his feet. The England international was involved in the attacking work, showing the quick movement, close control and creativity that have made him one of Chelsea's most important players. But this is where things become particularly interesting. Palmer is now entering another season where expectations around him are enormous. Under Xabi Alonso, Chelsea supporters are wondering exactly how the manager will use him. Will Palmer operate primarily from the right? Will he move more centrally? Or could Alonso give him even more freedom to move between the lines and create problems for opposition defenders? Whatever the answer is, one thing is obvious: Chelsea need Palmer at his best. And then there is Morgan Rogers. The new signing has already attracted enormous attention following his blockbuster move to Stamford Bridge, and every training session gives supporters another opportunity to see what he can bring. Rogers has the physical strength to hold off defenders, the ability to carry the ball over distance and the versatility to operate in several attacking positions. And during this training session, his intensity and confidence were impossible to ignore. He appears determined to make an immediate impression under Alonso. And that is exactly what Chelsea need from a major new signing. Rogers isn't arriving simply to be another squad player. Chelsea have invested heavily in him, and the expectation is that he can become an important part of the team's attack. His ability to drive forward with the ball could give Chelsea another dimension, particularly when opponents sit deep. Instead of relying entirely on Palmer to create something, Rodgers can potentially carry the ball through midfield, attack defenders, and create space for other players. And that could become very important for Alonso. The Chelsea manager is trying to create a team that can control games while still being dangerous in the final third. Every training session is therefore another opportunity to test combinations. And with Palmer and Rodgers working together, Chelsea could have two very different but complementary attacking weapons. But while the players are focused on Sociedad, there is another major story dominating Chelsea headlines. Enzo Fernandez. The Argentine midfielder remains at the center of one of the biggest transfer stories surrounding the club. Manchester City have been strongly linked with Enzo, but Chelsea have taken a very firm position. The Blues have reportedly demanded £120 million for the midfielder and set a deadline of 5 p.m. British Summer Time today for Manchester City to make an acceptable offer. And according to the latest comments from Manchester City's manager, Enzo Maresca, City are unlikely to meet that deadline. Maresca has indicated that City are not expecting to complete transfer business today, making an Enzo move increasingly difficult. That doesn't necessarily mean the entire story is over forever, but Chelsea's position is extremely clear. If City don't meet the required valuation within the deadline, the expectation is that Enzo remains at Stamford Bridge. And from Chelsea's perspective, that could actually be a very important outcome. Because despite all the transfer speculation, Enzo remains one of the most technically gifted midfielders in the squad. His passing range, vision and ability to dictate possession could be extremely valuable to Alonso. Imagine a Chelsea midfield containing Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, with Palmer and Rodgers operating ahead of them. That is a midfield and attack with plenty of technical quality, physicality and creativity. So while the transfer rumors have dominated the headlines, Alonso will surely want the focus to return to football. And that is exactly what is happening at Cobham. The new Chelsea project is taking shape. The club have already undergone a major transformation this summer, with Morgan Rodgers arriving for a British record £117 million, alongside additions including Maxence Lacroix, Marco Palestra, Danny Welbeck and other new faces. Chelsea have also brought in experienced players such as Jordan Henderson, while Valentin Barco has joined from Strasbourg. The idea is clear. Chelsea want a squad capable of competing immediately, while also building something sustainable for the future. And that makes this Sociedad game particularly interesting. It gives Alonso another chance to see how his players respond to his methods. The preseason is not about collecting trophies. It is about building chemistry, understanding tactical instructions and making sure players know exactly what is expected of them. And the signs from Cobham are certainly encouraging. Palmer looks sharp. Rodgers looks hungry. The squad is becoming more familiar with Alonso's ideas, and the manager is getting closer to knowing which players he can trust when the serious football begins. But there is still one major question hanging over everything. What happens with Enzo Fernandez? If Manchester City fail to meet Chelsea's demand, Enzo could remain and become a major part of Alonso's plans. If an acceptable offer somehow arrives, Chelsea would suddenly have a massive decision to make. For now, though, the focus is on the players who are actually on the training pitch. Palmer is looking ready. Rodgers is looking ready. And Xabi Alonso is demanding more from everyone. The Sociedad clash is coming, and Chelsea fans will be watching closely to see whether this new-look team can finally begin to show what Alonso's Chelsea is all about.
There we go. Right. Can you check that? That's good. Yes, walk! Yes!
Day one with the squad complete.